The golden age of America begins right now. From this day forward, our country will flourish and be respected again all over the world.
The inauguration of President Donald Trump earlier this month is well known to everyone. Many were quick to criticize and praise Ivanka Trump's outfit at the formal inaugural party, but few were quick to comment on Donald Trump or his leadership. Social media was in a frenzy since many people couldn't believe her clothing. All of this makes one wonder, what was Ivanka's clothing like at the inauguration, and why is everyone talking about it? Come explore the specifics with us now. In the instance of Donald J. Trump and his daughter Ivanka Trump, it is reasonable to assume that there is a strong genetic component. Everyone should be pleased of Donald Trump's daughter. A mother, author, and entrepreneur with an Ivy League degree, Ivanka is a force to be reckoned with. It appears that Donald's daughter has followed in his footsteps, making heads turn and mouths run wherever she goes, by engaging in contentious activities and causing tongues to wag. At the recent inauguration in August, when Donald was supported as the United States President, Ivanka's dress choice was the reason heads turned. Would you want to know why her dress is getting so much attention? Keep an eye out for more updates. President Donald Trump was officially inaugurated as the 45th President of the United States at the inaugural ball in Washington, D.C., which was held at the end of a day-long celebration. Ivanka donned a special black and white gown with a hidden meaning during the event. The dress was an exact replica of the one that Hubert de Givenchy made for Audrey Hepburn in 1954 for her iconic performance in Sabrina, which she shared with Humphrey Bogart. The strapless gown had a tight bodice, a long skirt, and elaborate black lace accents. Channeling classic Hollywood glitz, Ivanka paired her outfit with black opera gloves and diamond jewels. Although Hepburn wore white gloves originally, Zons Couture Atelier designed Ivanka. She has, however, before used her style to pay homage to a classic from the golden age of Hollywood. Almost exactly like Grace Kelly's dress in the 1955 film At Catch a Thief, she wore a blue gown at her sister Tiffany Trump's wedding at Mar-a-Lago in 2022. She shows no signs of stopping down, too, since Ivanka obviously has a penchant for bringing long-lost collections back to life. A bigger concern arises from her method of doing so in the political sphere, though. Why has Ivanka's homage to classic Hollywood on a platform that Americans find so meaningful prompted criticism? It would appear that Ivanka's clothing is based on aesthetics rather than power or significance, in contrast to politicians like Dr. Jill Biden, whose attire is generally patriotic in hues of red, white, and blue. It may be a deliberate decision. Maybe Ivanka would rather draw attention away from her clothing and concentrate on other things. Still, there are those who think these kinds of decisions aren't always appropriate, particularly in a political context. Ivanka stood on her stepmother's left at Donald Trump's swearing-in earlier in the day. Over an asymmetrical, wrapped jacket and black shoes, she sported a forest green pencil skirt fastened with a thin black belt. A beret that matched her verdant cap topped off her low-bun style of hairdo. She wore a Lady Dior purse as an accessory for a previous appearance, proving that she is trend-savvy while still favoring traditional high-end names. Ivanka wore designs by Oscar de la Renta, an American fashion brand presently run by designers Fernando Garcia and Laura Kim, to two pre-inauguration parties on January 19th. The photos were taken by the same photographers. Both outfits were published on Instagram by the brand, but unfortunately things didn't work out. The comments section was divided when they arrived. Ivanka Trump's outfit by Oscar de la Renta plainly irritated a few of her Instagram fans. A disgruntled customer finally spoke out, declaring their break with the brand. Someone else voiced their utter disappointment, mentioning that an immigrant from the Caribbean was the one who established Oscar de la Renta. Further explanation was provided on the ethical dilemma that arose when the brand's founder, an immigrant, dressed individuals who denigrated and discriminated against immigrants. A few of them went so far as to say this made them think they may never purchase the brand again. Others, however, lauded the label for ignoring politics and noted that While they may not have collaborated with Oscar de la Renta, they liked the style. Kimberly Guilfoyle, Lauren Sanchez, and Alice plus Olivia were among the public people that praised the ensemble. Neither Kim nor Garcia posted a selfie of themselves wearing the outfits to Instagram. One can't help but question whether this was a strategic decision to deflect attention away from their alleged ties to the Trump family. Since her father's return to the White House, Ivanka Trump, who will be the first daughter of the president, has remained mostly out of the spotlight for the past 4 years, with the exception of an occasional outing with Kim Kardashian. However, this is all about to change. As she moves through her father's administration and public life, her wardrobe choices are sure to keep people talking. Ivanka Trump's incredible commitment and friendship with her father, the everlasting father-daughter bond, goes beyond the headlines and fashion choices. One of the most publicized relationships is that between Ivanka Trump and her father, Donald Trump. Ivanka Trump has been at his side the whole way through, from his ascent to the presidency as the 45th president of the U.S. She has been his daughter and personal advisor, and she has been in the limelight many times. They were clearly quite close from the start, and it showed in Ivanka's early professional decisions. Nobody was surprised to hear that Ivanka was Donald Trump's favorite daughter. Donald and his children made frequent references to it. The Trump siblings came clean about Ivanka being their father's favorite in a 2015 interview with Barbara Walters. Everyone around them could see the obvious connection between the two, which went beyond the usual father-daughter bond. Trump has never been shy in saying how much he values Ivanka. He made a joke about dating Ivanka if she weren't his daughter. He was quick to compliment her attractiveness, intellect, and commercial acumen, which he said were the keys to his own success. Beyond that, though, he was impressed by her capacity to give others agency. The daughter of Ivanka and Vladimir Putin, Ivanka has always made it clear how much she values her father. She frequently gushed about the invaluable life and work lessons she had gleaned from him. She observed her father's real estate industry behavior up close when she was a little kid, since she went with him to business meetings. What Ivanka learned about business from her father at a young age set the stage for her own career in the corporate sector. She became quite self-reliant and confident as a result. With Ivanka by his side, Donald Trump made his now famous escalator address in Trump Tower in 2015 to launch his run for president. She had some experience in business and knew her way around politics at the time, but this was her big break into politics. Supporting her father and helping to present him in a more sympathetic light, Ivanka remained at his side throughout the campaign. She frequently appeared at rallies and gave speeches to promote her father's ideas and programs, which played a significant role in her father's campaign for president. Though she was vocal in her support for her father's campaign, Ivanka never hidden her disapproval of her father's policies. Although she had faith in her father's leadership abilities, she said in an interview from 2015 that it was hard for her to wholeheartedly support her father's political agenda as a daughter. Ivanka stood by her father through thick and thin, supporting him no matter what, and juggling her own opinions with her public responsibilities. At the 2016 Republican National Convention, Ivanka finally had her chance to shine in the political limelight. Many people thought her speech was the most moving and influential of the whole conference, and she delivered it throughout the occasion. In her presentation, she mentioned her father's campaign and the sacrifices he made due to his strong determination. Her fervent praise for her father's virtues, accomplishments, and character was contagious. His economic success, his dedication to uplifting women, and his ability to get things done were all highlighted by her. Both the substance and the fact that it was an unusual opportunity for her to show her father's kinder, more empathetic side made her speech unforgettable. Ivanka provided a more refined and intimate look at the man behind the headlines, in contrast to Donald Trump, who was frequently attacked for his aggressive speech and brazen manner. Many observers considered her address to be among the finest of the whole conference, and she received high appreciation for it. Despite her fame, Her speech was a watershed moment in her political activism, since it demonstrated her courage to address a national audience on her father's behalf. In the aftermath of her father's speech, Ivanka rose to prominence and became an integral part of his campaign, going to rallies and helping to raise money. Ivanka Trump was unwavering in her support for Donald Trump as his primary victories began to trickle in. She continued to push his message and appeared at key rallies alongside him. A number of issues arose as a result of Ivanka's participation in the campaign. Between being a daughter and a public person, Ivanka found herself juggling several responsibilities throughout the 2016 campaign. No matter how many times people asked her about her father's questionable comments or behavior, she would outwardly support him while secretly expressing her worries. After Donald Trump's 2016 election victory, Ivanka became a prominent figure in his administration. With her appointment as a senior advisor to the president, she had the authority to shape policies, especially those concerning economic empowerment and women's development. As a member of the Trump family and a successful entrepreneur, Ivanka's role in the White House was unlike any other. While in office, she worked on several fronts, including encouraging female entrepreneurs and pushing for measures that boosted the economy. Ivanka Trump's Women's Worldwide Development and Prosperity Initiative was a prominent project that sought to promote women's economic empowerment on a worldwide scale. As part of this program, Ivanka traveled the globe, meeting with heads of state and giving speeches at conferences on the necessity of women having economic freedom. She has also contributed to regulations that aim to make it easier for women, especially in underdeveloped nations, to start their own businesses. Ivanka Trump's position in the Trump administration was contentious, even if she meant well. Many of her detractors brought up the fact that she was still involved with her family's businesses, saying that this created conflicts of interest. Ivanka was a staunch supporter of her father's ideas throughout her term as First Lady, but she was also the target of criticism for her questionable business practices. Ivanka Trump's position inside her father's administration was under growing criticism as the Trump presidency drew to a conclusion. Her role in the White House was further highlighted by the 2020 election and the events leading up to the Capitol riot on January 6, 2021. Even though Ivanka had nothing to do with organizing the protest that escalated into the attack, she was there at the riot's aftermath during the most chaotic moments. The role that Ivanka played in the Trump administration's reaction to the violence drew considerable criticism. There was a stir when she showed up to a meeting with her dad at the White House following the incident. Many thought she was trying to get him to speak out against the violence by condemning the rioters' acts. Despite her vocal calls for a stop to the violence, the incident further exacerbated the public's already tumultuous view of her political engagement. In November 2022, following the conclusion of her father's administration, Ivanka declared her intention to retire from politics. Her decision to step away from the political arena, which had consumed her for a number of years, was explained in a public statement by her explanation that she was concentrating on her family and personal life rather than Donald Trump's 2024 campaign. Ivanka, who had spent the better part of a decade helping out with her father's political campaigns, made a big change with her choice. Ivanka has stayed out of politics for the time being, but she has promised her father her undivided support. She continued to be active in the public eye even after she left politics. An integral part of Ivanka's public persona has always been the bond she has with her father. Their relationship has endured the storms of controversy, family strife, and public scrutiny. Regardless matter the highs and lows of Donald Trump's presidency and political career, Ivanka has never left his side. Ivanka may be out of the public eye for the time being, but her father and her relationship have left an indelible mark on how the public perceives them. Looking into her past thoroughly will help us understand the lady behind the name. New York City is the place of birth for Ivanka Trump, whose name is widely recognized, on October 30, 1981. She is the second of Donald Trump's children with his first wife, the Czech-American businessman and model Ivana Trump. Ivanka Trump has known the opulence, scrutiny, and complications of being a Trump child since she was a little girl. Major life experiences, such as her parents' widely publicized divorce when she was 9 years old, impacted her formative years. Living in the spotlight wasn't easy for Ivanka, but she and her brothers Donald Jr. and Eric, together with Tiffany, her half-sister, and Barron, her youngest half-brother, overcame it. Ivanka started her education in Manhattan at Christ Church and the Chapin School. When she was 15 years old, she transferred to the esteemed residential school Choate Rosemary Hall in Connecticut. Ivanka started modeling when she was a teenager, juggling her schoolwork with her business. She was only allowed to model on weekends and holidays per her mother Ivana's insistence that her daughter's schooling would not be jeopardized. The cover of 17 magazine, which Ivanka appeared on in May 1997, cemented her place in the fashion industry. Ivanka continued her schooling after finishing at Choate. Prior to her 2004 transfer to Penn, she attended Georgetown University for 2 years. After completing her economics degree at the Wharton School of Business, she cum lauded herself. Her desire to break free from her father's heritage shone through in her academic achievements. Ivanka Trump joined the Trump Organization as the Executive Vice President of Development and Acquisitions after a brief stint with the real estate development business Forest City Ratner following her graduation. Among her many domestic and foreign initiatives as this position's leader was the transformation of Washington, D.C. historic old post office into a 5-star hotel. The Trump International Hotel, a multi-million-dollar undertaking that showcased her commercial skills, was inaugurated in 2006. However, Ivanka wasn't content to stick to the real estate industry. She started her own business in the fashion sector, selling shoes, clothes, and jewelry. Famous magazines like Vogue, Forbes, Life, and Harper's Bazaar promoted her items, which caused her company to achieve huge popularity. In 2007, she opened her first flagship store in Manhattan under the name Ivanka Trump Fine Jewelry, which she had co-founded with Dynamic Diamond Corp. Because of its continued popularity, it moved to a bigger location in Soho in 2011. Rihanna and Jennifer Lopez were among the famous people that wore her creations. Her entrepreneurial success extended beyond the fashion industry. In 2015, she was honored with the Breakthrough Award by the Accessories Council for her remarkable achievements. Even with all the praise, Ivanka's brand was not without controversy. The use of rabbit fur was criticized, and the designer was sued for infringing on other designs. Before she chose to devote herself fully to her public service career, her fashion enterprise had yearly sales of over $500 million. Ivanka Trump's formal position as senior advisor to President Trump began in 2017. The White House office was already in Ivanka Trump's possession. She now had the job. This move was a turning moment in the career of Donald Trump's daughter, who had been working alongside the president. Moving to Washington, D.C., she officially severed ties with her business associates. Ivanka and Jared Kushner just bought a house in the exclusive Kalorama district. Issues such as paid family leave, workforce development, and women's economic empowerment were priorities for Ivanka Trump when she was in the White House. The Women's Global Development and Prosperity Initiative was established under her leadership. Critics questioned the ethics of Ivanka's dual status as a public servant and a businesswoman, which polarized her term in politics despite her efforts. Ivanka Trump had an impressive career in media and fashion before she dove headfirst into politics. Even though she was a boarding school student, she managed to land modeling jobs with Tommy Hilfiger and Teen Vogue, among others. Her capacity to fit in with the fashion industry was on full display in her runway appearances and magazine covers. Aside from her work as a model, Ivanka has also been in the entertainment industry and appeared on television. Her father owned the Miss Teen USA pageant when she was 15 years old, and she co-hosted the show. Substituting for Carolyn Kepcher as a boardroom judge on NBC's The Apprentice and Celebrity Apprentice, she subsequently became a recurrent judge. She worked alongside Shauna Yasbeck, the winner of Season 5, on the Trump Soho project, and her charisma helped her get notice on the show. In addition to her appearances on reality TV, Ivanka has added guest judging duties to Project Runway and a cameo appearance in Gossip Girl alongside her husband. Ivanka also dabbled with writing and published 2 books on self-help. To help young people succeed in their careers and personal lives, she published The Trump Card in 2009. To Rewrite the Rules for Success: Women Who Work was her 2017 second book. Before her father became president, Ivanka authored that book, which drew on her experiences as a mother, businesswoman, and executive, as well as quotations from people who had an impact on her. Using examples from Ivanka's life and profession, the book highlights the struggles and successes of working women. Charity organizations such as the National Urban League and the Boys and Girls Clubs of America will get earnings from this book, which she has promised to contribute. Beyond her job as a writer, Ivanka's humanitarian endeavors included supporting a women's entrepreneur center in Baltimore via the National Urban League. This endeavor allowed her to fulfill her aim of empowering women via her work. Almost as much attention has been paid to Ivanka's private life as to her business ventures. She converted to Judaism in 2009 and married real estate developer Jared Kushner in a Jewish wedding. Their romance was reignited just before they tied the knot in 2008 after being momentarily halted by Kushner's family concerns. Theodore James, Arabella Rose, and Joseph Frederick are their 3 children. After each of her pregnancies, Ivanka has been open and honest about the mental and physical toll that postpartum depression imposed on her. The pair had lived in a New York City Park Avenue condominium that Ivanka had co-designed with Kelly Behun, an interior decorator. They moved to Surfside, Florida from Washington, D.C. in 2021. There has been some controversy about Ivanka's career. Concerns over her company's alleged exploitation of Chinese workers' rights led to increased scrutiny of her brand. Furthermore, there were ethical considerations regarding trademarks in China, some of which had been authorized during her father's administration. As a result of falling sales, boycotts, and political outcry, major shops like Nordstrom and Neiman Marcus finally stopped carrying her brand. Ivanka continues to be a powerful figure despite all of these obstacles. She has proven her versatility by seamlessly transitioning between her private life, political career, and commercial endeavors. No matter your stance on the lady and her daring style choices, from her days growing up in Manhattan's privileged circles to her current position as a senior advisor in the White House, you can't help but admire them. Ivanka has left an everlasting impression on society with her many personas as a politician, fashion star, and successful entrepreneur. Even if people have different views on her legacy, Ivanka is determined to stand firm. Have you seen Ivanka's new clothes or heard about her business ventures? Post your thoughts down here and tell us what you think. In order to see more content like this, please subscribe, follow, and share. You should also watch the video that appears next. It's fun.